one quality becomes even more valuable, and that is emotional intelligence. And we have somebody very special who will be talking on this topic of emotional intelligence. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our next speaker, Mr. Ashutosh Bhatwadekar.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. Welcome back after lunch. I know I have a very difficult job at hand. So, yeah, requesting all to please settle down. So, how many of you are non-vegetarians here? And did you enjoy the fish today? I think fish was the most tastiest one is the feedback which I have got today, right? And how about desserts? Which was the dessert you enjoyed the most? Jalebi. So I know I have a very difficult job at hand now, right? How to keep you people awake. So I'm going to talk about emotional intelligence in the era of AI. And again, taking a cue from what Sanjit was telling, right? Even when I was going through Sanjit's session, I was wondering now what I should speak, right? What should I talk about when many of these topics have been covered earlier? Everyone knows what is emotional intelligence. I think everyone in the room is aware about what is emotional intelligence all about and the importance of emotional intelligence in our world where we are, right? So let's start. Some quick things what I intend to cover as a part of this session, right? I'm not going into the details of it, but just some quick tidbits about what I intend to cover. Let us start with a quick icebreaker, a quiz for you. There's no prize, by the way. There are already some other quizzes where there's a prize. What is the answer for this question? Anyone? C? No one for A? Isn't it A? Okay, C. C is what you're saying. Okay. Second question. Mathematics, I know, not a great subject for everyone, but C. C or B? C. Okay. And question 3. I think we all learned about leadership today and yesterday also. B or C? Okay. So let's see. So these are the quick answers. The lazy answer and the human in the loop answer. Both are given here. For your benefit, the lazy answer, but the human in the loop answer is basically C, C and B what is there. Okay, so with this, let me move ahead and let me show you something very interesting. This came up a couple of weeks back. Anyone knows what is this? Anyone read the news? I know we were all busy in FIFA World Cup. We were all busy in the America-Iran war. By the way, I say AI as America-Iran war. I'm not talking about artificial intelligence. America-Iran war is the new AI. Yes, what is this? Anyone knows? Sorry, yeah, there's a typo. Yeah. Any idea what is this? Yes, there's a typo there. It's a robo. So interesting thing about this picture is it's the world's first, yes, religious robo. I think Sanjit talked about it, right? And I've written what Sanjit mentioned there, right? That the danger is not that AI will replace you. You are trying to become comfortable. Are we really going to outsource this? Imagine your coaching session, you have a person like this instead of Kamal or Shweta. How many of us would go there? Here we have this monk who actually has been made as an official Buddhist monk in South Korea. So this was a news item which came. If you want to read more about it, you can read it here. That it came up in Economic Times where this was that when technology meets spirituality. It's an article which came. But imagine that whichever religion you are, Would you really like to outsource the priest job to a humanoid or to an AI robo? No. Why not? So I'm telling you, by the way, what is a career option for you if AI takes your job? Become a priest. Become a priest. I'm telling you, that's the safest job today. What is that? We are not going to do that, right? Because at the end of the day, there are some things which we would not like to outsource. We would like to continue the way they are doing today, right? And this is the Gabi. The name of that monk is Gabi, the world's first spiritual bot seen in South Korea very recently. So the Gabi attended a Buddhist ordination ceremony ahead of Buddha's birthday. So this was during the Gautam Buddha birthday, which was there, where Gabi was there. But again, howsoever you program, howsoever you give the context and the knowledge to Gabi, do you think it will be able to supplement or substitute a traditional monk? No, right? That is the reality. That is the reality where we are as a part of this monk which is there. So, emotional intelligence, I think everyone knows. How many of you had given IQ test during your school days or college days? Okay, we have one person here. I'm not asking your IQ score, by the way. Don't worry. It's not a question to ask your IQ score. But till very recently, IQ was considered as a measure of success. And I don't know if anyone knows, if you look at history of criminals in the world, top criminals in the world had a very good IQ score. And in India also we see that, right? The sharpest of the people are the ones who commit basically fraud, right? And so that notion of IQ being the key thing, contributing to the strong, I would say, success went off. And then came emotional intelligence, right? And if you look at it, now they say is that intelligence quotient or IQ contributes only about 20 to 25% of your success. The rest is your emotional intelligence. And this is an area where we need to guard, right? This is an area where we need to ensure that we don't let AI enter into this space, right? That is the key message, or that is a key element we need to understand. So if you look at IQ, it talks about data, logic, algorithm. Emotional intelligence is about emotions. How do we build our emotions? How do we make advantage of those emotions? Ethics and empowerment. And now that we have seen in this 1.5 day of conference, there are tools which will actually help you in the IQ, right? For example, having a report on a Monday morning published and sending out to stakeholders. I think AI tools can do a better job than you and me, right? Or basically capturing the defects and putting it into an RCA, a fishbone diagram. That is where AI can do. But as Sanjit also mentioned, can I use AI for conflict management? A big question. Can I really use AI as a tool for resolving conflict between two of my team members? Or a more dangerous one. There are two team members whom you like, but you can promote only one. Would you decide on your own, or would you use AI to decide? By the way, if you decide to use AI, you can have an excuse. कि AI ने बोला था, मैंने इसको promote कर दिया. Right? That is an excuse you can have on a lighter note. But as a professional manager, as a professional leader, would you go on the data, what you can sense on the emotional part of the data, or would you rely extensively on the AI tool? Because with the advent of Gen AI tools, the 20% layer of IQ can easily be automated. It can easily get automated in no time, right? And there's no rocket science in that. But that 80% is what we have to protect. That 80% is what we have to make sure it stays with us and not allow Gabi to enter into that space, right? I mean, that's a very dangerous trend if priests actually start coming into the AI world which is there, right? So our Gen AI tools, IQ on steroids, or they can be emotionally intelligent also, because emotional intelligence is in the minds, right? It's in the minds of the people who are there, right? So that's the shift. That's a general shift or a background which I wanted to start. And then this very famous model of emotional intelligence, right? Which obviously came from Daniel Goleman in his book, Self-Awareness, Self-Management, Social Awareness and Relationship Management. By the way, this is not my picture. This has been generated by Gemini. Okay, and I'm very candid about it. I think I liked what Sanjit also said. कि अगर कॉपी करना है तो बोल दो कॉपी करना है, राइट? इट्स वेरी इजी, राइट? आई मीन एटलीस्ट पीपल वोंट डाउट कि ये तुमने बनाया कि मैंने नहीं बनाया. दिस इज कमिंग फ्रॉम जेमिनाई. बट the definition of self awareness, social awareness, self management and relationship management has undergone a change in this era of AI, right? So today, and this is something which came up also in that discussion which Sanjit talked about, 2030. He took us 4 years ahead in our lives, and 2030, what all is happening in that Project Nova team, he talked about that, right? We all suffer from AI anxiety. Anyone knows what is AI anxiety? Any thoughts on AI anxiety? How many of us believe that AI will take away our jobs? Please raise your hand. Now very less people, maybe after the conference, the impact of conference, but I think if I had asked the question yesterday, many people would have raised hand. That is the AI anxiety, what we call, right? That is the AI anxiety. Resilience. How do we build resilience into our teams? And empathy. Empathy for the threatened. And building trust in hybrid teams. Now, your competition in the years is not going to be with your peers. It is going to be with your AI agents who are going to get A+ grades in all the performance appraisal. Right? That is what is going to happen in the years to come back. Right? Today we used to always think, oh, this person might get promoted before me. Tomorrow your manager is going to talk about in the language that if an AI agent can work on the weekend and generate a code, why should I hire you? What is that element you bring into the table that I should hire you as a professional there, right? So that's the model which is there. And the new HRA, I'm not talking about human resources. HRA, if you see, it is humans, robots and agents working together. And that's where a lot of these emotions are going to play out. Okay, so let me ask you a very simple question. Have you ever got angry on your laptop? On your laptop, on a non-limited, and what did you did? I will tell you what I did. Has anyone thrown the laptop? Partner in crime, I have also done it. और वो चल ही नहीं रहा था, मैंने फेंक दिया फाइनली एक दिन गुस्से में आके. Believe me, can you do this with your agent कि उसको भगा देते हैं यहाँ से? I don't want the agent active only. इसको निकाल देते. Maybe those emotions might come out. Those emotions might come out. Why is the agent doing much better than what I'm doing? Or the agent is hallucinating and I'm very angry with the agent as a human being. That is the emotional intelligence we have to think about, right? Again, taking a cue from Sanjit 2030. I mean, these could be the situations where we could be landing up as a part of the reimagination of the EI framework in an AI world, right? So, self-awareness, as I said, many of us fear job loss. Forget job loss. Even we are not comfortable with displacement. If my career is changing, right? If my job is changing from A to B, we have that fear which is there, right? Or the fear of the unknown what is there. And that is what we see, right? The job loss or the displacement what we have. Yeah, I'll just wait. Yeah, it's there back again. Okay. Thanks to Mr. Okay, let me not take a name here. Thanks to the new AI. What is the new AI? America-Iran war. We are in a VUCA world. I think everyone knows VUCA, right? Volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity. There's also something called as Bani world. Anyone knows what is Bani? Brittle, anxious, N, non-linear, and I. Non-linear and incomprehensible. Actually, it's not a VUCA world now, it's a Bani world. Incomprehensible. Day before yesterday, I heard that the peace treaty has been signed between AI. And today we see Mr. Trump threatening Iran. It's incomprehensible. That's the world we are living. And believe me, our bosses are equally like Mr. Trump and the Iranian leader. The people whom we interact with on a day-to-day basis, right? एक दिन कुछ बोलेंगे, दूसरे दिन मुकर जाएंगे. नहीं, मैंने ऐसे बोला ही नहीं था. And we are in that world. We are in that world which is there, which we have, right? And how to remain calm and resilient in the new normal. Social awareness. Again, many speakers before me have talked about it. Are we outsourcing our thinking to AI? Don't do that. Never ever do that. Never outsource your thinking to AI, because you never know what challenges it would lead to, right? I mean, I have seen Gen Zs who are talking about their problems with their boyfriend and girlfriend problem, asking solutions from AI. That's not going to work, right? That's not, I mean, however I tell them, they said, nahi, let's see what AI tells us, right? I mean, that's not what AI is for, right? And relationship management, hybrid teams, humans plus AI, and how to lead when your teams is using algorithms to make decisions, right? The new HRA, as I talked about, right? Confluence of humans, robots, and agents. It's going to be a challenge for your team members. It is going to be a challenge for the leaders also. How to manage this group of people, group of resources, if I were to say, which has agents, human beings, and robots working together in tandem with each other, right? So these are some of the reimaginations, some of the reimaginations from an emotional intelligence perspective in the new AI world, what is there. Okay, so yes, and I think yesterday Kamal also talked about a very interesting thing, right? I mean, do we really value human relationships? And someone from the crowd only said, he gave an example of the salt in your home is finished, what will you do? And I'm very happy to know that many of you said that, why don't we knock the doors of the neighbors? I mean, that's the first level of help we used to have, right? At least 20-25 years back, my parents, when I used to, were there, and obviously when things used to get over, we had a habit of sharing. And not only that, when we prepare something, we give it to our neighbors that, aapke namak ka ye hai, right? Aapke namak ka ye bana ke diya hai aapko. That kind of empathy, that kind of an empathy is something which we are going to shifting, right? So while old EQ was about managing people, we are now no longer going to manage people. We are going to basically manage the intersection of people and technology together. That's the world where we are going to be, where we are going to interact not with living entities, but robots, right? Robots collaborating, feelings going to be changing into effectiveness, and team bonding into more into the integration what is there. So yes, focus on the human in the loop collaboration, algorithmic empathy. That's a very interesting term, algorithmic empathy, which is, yes, outsource your prompts to the model, but whatever in the information you get or whatever inference you get or insights you get from the model, you work with empathy, right? And hybrid workspaces. So hybrid workspaces doesn't mean one team in Hyderabad, one in Pune now. Within the same company, within the same setup, we have totally different actors and some stateless actors working with us together. And so it's a power of people, technology, and automation blending in together, right? So that's the shift in leadership from people skills to human tech synergy, which is going to be the new norm which is there, right? So it's more about preparing you for the future what you have. Okay, yes, one of the interesting things I came across was that if I were to align the EQ in the new era of AI, there's something called as ACEs. I need to ace it up, anchor. So that anchor has to be human empathy, ethics, and imagination. That advantage of 80% what we have today. That has to remain. So creativity, empathy, that would remain. That would remain as a part of this, the anchoring part of it, which is at the centerpiece which is there. The second one is confront. So as a leader, you will have to be greater responsibility to addressing workplace friction, AI anxiety which your team members will have, ensuring dynamic, safe transformations which are there. So confront, build psychological safety and confront any anxiety within your team about AI. And then elevate the decision making. So yes, it can be human in the loop, human under the loop, human above the loop. I mean, you name it, that's what the human in the loop would be. And how do we make decisions beyond algorithm? And last but not the least, the S, right, which is the future state synergize, right? HRA, the future state leadership, what would be there, right? So it's not about AI as artificial intelligence, it's about what we call it as authentic imagination. Imagination is something which no one can snatch, no one can be snatched from you, right? So that's the imagination. That's the key imagination what we need to remember. The ACEs way of working, which is their EQ alignment framework in the era of AI, what is there. So human empathy as the foundation and synergy, the collaboration amongst the team members at the top level, what is there. So that's the peak performance through harmonious relationship what we have. Yeah, so another way of looking at the same thing taking the help of reimagining it through the AI lenses anchoring, confronting, elevate, and synergize what is there. So that's basically the model for human AI collaboration which is there. And of course, I had published an article on this also on LinkedIn. I mean, if you're interested, you can go and read that entire article. And this model, obviously, I had given a prompt to generate a model based on the article which is there. So remember one thing, that whatever decisions we take, don't forget the empathy part of it. Don't forget the moral compass as a leader. That is the key responsibility what is there. And elevate judgment with an algorithmic empathy. Don't believe everything what the model gives to us, right? That is the key element. That is the critical element which we have. So algorithms are always finite, right? Infinite thing is your intuition. And obviously the soul is something which is infinite, which is there. So while AI will be able to identify patterns with massive data sets to calculate the probability of success, the IQ side of things, the human judgment based on experience, no one can take it away from you, right? That is something which is your skill, which you have cultivated as a part of this entire experience what you have got, right? So this will provide perspective, ethics, and empowerment. And 75 to 80% of the success of a transformation is dependent on the humans, right? How the humans come together, integrate together, and they work along it, right? I'm sure many of you would be watching the FIFA World Cup which would be there. At the end of the day, we have also seen lot of examples in the recent matches where, how many of you are watching FIFA World Cup, by the way? Yeah, I think a lot of few people are watching. So this Argentina versus Egypt match, I think there's a huge controversy, if you remember, if you would have read about it, right? I mean, the VAR, the video review system of FIFA, is under scrutiny because it gave an offside for an Egyptian legal goal which was there. So there's already a lot of scrutiny, and the way the French Empire was acting in that match. But basically that's the limitation. That's the limitation of technology what we have. However, we use it, although it is now being used in tennis and cricket also, there are limitations to it what is there. So yes, infinite human intuition is something which is going to play a very important role. Now something very interesting, my daughter is a lawyer, and I always discuss with her. So there's one more job, by the way, which is secure as per my daughter, okay? I'm not saying it, my daughter quotes it. Lawyer. Do you agree? Lawyer's job is secure is what my daughter feels. Do you agree with that? Because she says that for the same crime committed by two individuals, for one, let's say two people have committed a murder, the judge might decide a fasi ki saja for one of them, hang till death, and maybe a life imprisonment for others. So what is the decision point? The decision point is empathy. The decision point is human element which comes into the way. While AI might say that for both the crimes, it has to be, the punishment has to be same, but the human element of the judge, the human element of that judge, what he thinks, what he or she thinks, and what basically is that empathy, as I said, right? Algorithmic empathy. Because at the end of the day, it is going to bring about a BNS code, right? Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita code from ChatGPT. And ChatGPT will recommend a punishment which is same for both the crimes. But the human element will differentiate the punishment between the two what is there, right? So the key, also something very interesting which is there, some new roles which might come up, and I think my previous speakers did talk about it. I think Sanjit gave another very interesting thing, that Monday do an audit. By the way, we have not shared the slides, so just for your information. It is just that it happened to be a coincidence. The AI auditor role, I think that's going to play a big role as we move along, right? In the interest of time, I'm moving ahead. Then basically the connector, someone who's socially aware, right? Only a human can sense the empathy for the threatened, right? So that's another role which is there. And obviously someone who's there from an ethical point of view. So ethics officer, more from an AI side. Those will be the key roles which would come in, right? So while AI optimizes for efficiency, the human in the loop optimizes for ethics and trust. The example of a judge and a lawyer, what I gave, for a same punishment committed by the two similar crime incidents which are there, right? So that's the key message. That's the key message with which I would like to leave you with. And obviously some roles which I said, and this is how, just trying to summarize what I have said. Control that 80%. Don't let AI enter into that 80% while you outsource the 20%. I've just rebranded the very famous Pareto rule, 80-20 principle. intersection over interpersonal. So it's not about me versus agent or agent and me. It's about how do we collaborate together, intersect, audit the anxiety. As a leader, that's one of the key things. Integrate your partners, cobots, what we call, the bots and cobots into the team fabric. We have to integrate with them. So a big question mark, even I don't know the answer for this. How will a Diwali celebration happen with agents? I don't know, or with robos. That's a big question mark for me also, right? We all wear dresses like this, nice dresses, what we have worn today, even on Diwali and all. But how will that integration happen? I have no clue, okay? So please don't ask me that question. And last but not the least, build resiliency across technology shifts. So today it is AI, tomorrow it could be something else. And by the way, I was having very interactive discussions in last 1.5 days with all the speakers here, with all the delegates here. And I think everyone has that, right? That today it is AI, what's next? Something else could be there in the years to come ahead, right? So let's be ready for it. And yes, the ultimate test of modern leadership is not how well we compete with machines, but how well we orchestrate the harmony between human heart and digital intelligence, right? That's the key mantra. That's the key mantra. One of the last slides, in fact, the last slide which I have, very famous Albert Einstein, something he talked about long years back, that I have enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Well, knowledge is limitation. Basically, imagination encircles the world. So, from artificial intelligence to authentic imagination. With that message, I leave you all with. So, thank you very much, RHD Hyderabad, for the opportunity. And once again, I hope you enjoy the rest of the session. Thank you very much. And do share your feedback on the wall.
Thank you so much, Ashutosh. That was a great session. How many of you liked Ashutosh ka session? Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vijay, for the felicitation. Okay, guys, and as Ashutosh mentioned, you can give him feedback or reviews on the QR that is shared on WhatsApp already.